Okay. Yeah.
I think in the zoom tool, which is over on the left somewhere, right? Yeah, you can somehow switch it to pan. I don't know. Or under maybe it's under settings on the right. We will we're actually going to start by I'll just go over a couple of roll 20 things
It's the
we can do.
hand. You hover over the hand in this pan view.
There you go. I don't know where the hand is,
The
but
hand. Oh, I mean the cursor turns into a hand. Cursor icon.
gotcha. Well,
Interesting.
let's see. So one easy thing I don't at least for me that is pretty useful is so if you want to get to your character sheet, you can click on your token and then shift double click and it'll open up your character sheet.
Double click one.
Um let's see what else is there on the left. There's like you can see there's like a ruler tool which is useful for like determining movement. So like if I go no snapping, this map actually is accurate, I believe. So and then I go like this. I hate this color. Hold on. I'll be that, sure. Like you can see. But then if I go here, I'll move us back over to the out like the blank grid. Boom. It's 5 feet. It's not accurate. Well, okay, we should talk about our diagonal rules, I guess. So yeah, but you can see 5 feet. Blah blah blah. Somebody sent something in.
You're definitely gonna have to
Oh, you were
repeat
just
how to
rolling.
do that at some point.
I'm sorry. Say that again, Sam.
I'm definitely gonna forget how to do that.
That's a yeah. It's a constant. Like, there's a lot of things that you can do. If you press Q while you're doing that, you can even like measure like, okay, I want to go this far and then this far. Diagonal rules. So do we want to do the standard rule is just that diagonals are still 5 feet, which so then it would be like obviously it's not accurate and you can go further than normal by going diagonal, or the slightly closer to accurate rule is it's 5 feet, then it's 10 feet. So instead, right here, this would be 15, and then 5, and then 10. And it alternates back and forth, which gets closer to being approximate, but it makes it a lot more difficult to use the measuring tool because you'd have to go like, oh, it won't even let you do that. Really? That, like, so I don't particularly care because if it's an advantage for you guys to use the regular rule, even though it's inaccurate, I will also use it on the monsters to kill you. So whatever. But do we have a preference? Just so that we're established before we start.
I have no preference. I'm fine either
I
way.
don't care.
I think we should use the Pythagorean theorem every time.
Nope.
I'll do it.
Yeah, I have no preference. I'm open to that.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, everybody said no preference. One vote for the Pythagorean theorem means it wins. Okay, so we'll use the closer to accurate one. It's not that difficult to measure. You get used to it pretty quickly. We don't have any problems with in the other campaign. Flanking, yes or no?
Yes.
No preference.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I didn't
Okay,
know that
so
was ever not a thing.
Yeah.
I've always just played with it. Is there like an advantage to not having it? I get it.
flanking is technically an optional rule. So actually, the standard is not having it. But I think pretty much everybody plays with it standard anyway. The main problem people have with it is just that it makes it too easy to get advantage. So like, if you're say a samurai fighter, like who's one of your big things is being able to get advantage on attacks, it diminishes that. But I'm okay either way. So we'll say yes on flanking. I don't think there's any other rules things. So, if everybody's good, we can get right into it. So we start our adventure in Bryn Chandler, which is the kind of biggest trading town of the 10 towns in Icewind Dale. So it's really cold. It's hostile up here. It's a small it's a pretty big town, but like it's not Waterdeep or anything, right? It's a town. It's not a city. You're all up here for your own individual reasons, which we'll get to in just a second. Um, but there have been rumors lately coming up from the Sword Coast of giant attacks. Some of you believe it, some of you don't. Let's go ahead. We'll start with you, Cameron. If you want to do like a quick character introduction, just so that everybody's on the same page on what everybody's playing. Give me character intro and like what you're doing in town right now, theoretically, on this frigid day where you definitely don't know that a bunch of giants are about to attack.
Gotcha. So my name is Nemo Winterbelly. I don't know how much I should go in depth, but I come from an adoptive home in the 10 towns area in Goodmead, and I am here in Bryn Shondare because I'm just passing through, and it's a nearby town, and I'm on my way somewhere.
Where are you on your way to? Or where like not like I don't need a location, but like where are you going to do what? Right? Like
I'm just trying to find some work. I don't really have a steady stream of work. I wrote up this whole thing, but I don't know how much I should say like the whole thing or how much I should just reveal in like
He's a werewolf.
talking to people.
are you yes or no? Gun to your head, are you a werewolf?
All right, guys. I'm not aware.
Not a werewolf. All right. Danny, you're up next.
Okay. So my character is a mannequin. He was created by a guy named Artist Simber. But he disappeared a long, long time ago. I guess it wasn't that long ago, really, in the grand scheme of things. He left his, when he did leave, he left his son Cyric.
Whatever you want.
It was Cyric, or at least that's what you said last time.
That is what I said.
And he was dropped off when he was a teenager, and since then his father has not returned. So I've just kind of been here with Cyric. Yeah. I'm just a
And, like-
mannequin. Oh, and I guess about my character is that he kind of just is like copying adventures he has seen, and is kind of like just gaining more and more memories of those fighters as he goes. As of now, he has copied a samurai and sorcerer.
Gotcha. And like what would mannequin number 5 be doing like just on an average day in Bryn Shondare?
Just observing people. He was made
Just
with a
watch.
blank slate, with the only real tasks were to learn and to fight against these giants who are taking over things. So most of his time not spent with like a clear objective, is just spent observing.
Gotcha. All right. Sam, you're up.
All right. My name is Bryce Vetterson. Most people call me Breeze because I'm an air genasi and I look all airy, I guess. I grew up in a small village of pretty much all humans, so everyone just kind of expected me to have powers when I was young, but unfortunately, no such luck. Uh, everyone was kind of just mean to me because of that, because I look weird. Eventually, I figured out a way to get my own powers, my trusty Hexblade. Um, Ended up leaving town, joining a mercenary band that I can't remember the name of, if I even know it.
It is. Let me see if I can find it. Starts with an M.
All right, whatever. Joined
Whatever.
a
We'll find
mercenary
it
band.
later. Yeah.
And I mean, they knew, like, they kind of didn't really ask what the source of my powers were because they knew I was using magic for stuff. But then, when the times got hard for them, they just decided to fuck me over, kick me out. So now I'm here, kind of looking for a new place for myself. Yeah, that's the gist.
I don't think it says it in this document. Yeah, it's all good. All right, Dan.
All right. My name is Tony Badinsky. Um, I am a boisterous dwarf. Um, I'm a freelance mercenary. I don't really have a group because I tend to eventually not work well with teams. Um, I'm just uh, I'm just a passionate guy, you know. So I can be cool, I can be chill, but eventually when I'm not, I'm just very not. So
Gotcha.
yeah. I'm just trying to keep my temper under control in general, trying to get better with that. But yeah, I'm just here having a drink at the bar, and eventually I'm gonna go try to find some more work, something to kill or something.
Gotcha. And then finally, Joshua.
Hello. I am Desortha Disseldorf, but I go by Daisy. I am a gnome bard, and my big thing is like I'm like a wordsmith, right? And I like to try and swindle those with my like trickery. Um, like left my gnome forest because people kind of started to resent me, so I would travel around to local towns and just not make an honest living, just kind of pick up drunkards here and there and try and get a few bucks. Um, and then not fully fledged out, but at some point I crossed like a wrong guy or like a wrong gang of people, and it was just the safer idea to flee up north to I forget the name of this town, and so I'm
Bryn
kind of
Shundar.
hiding out, Bryn Shundar, and yeah, oh I can read, and yeah, so I'm here, I'm kind of laying low, but also like still trying to make my money. Cameron and I were talking earlier about like his big thing is like he's looking for work. So we're thinking like I tried to swindle him earlier, like years ago, and then realized he had nothing, so we kind of just became like swindling partners. So we kind of try and
Swindle.
cheat the others, swindle.
Yeah.
If you will.
An addendum. The reason I'm in town is because me and Josh are here.
There you go. All right. Well,
Oh wait, one quick thing. Josh, I don't know if it's possible, but if you could you get a little closer to your microphone?
How's this?
Better, thank you.
perfect.
I said better, thank you.
I'm using a rock band microphone, so let me know if like.
Hell yeah.
It's all good. I just
It's
want to
fine.
make sure that you don't get spoken over or something on accident.
No, I appreciate it.
All right. Yeah. So let's just go. Another dreadfully cold day in Icewind Dale has you bundled up in your warmest furs. Bryn Shundar's market square bustles with knucklehead trout fishers selling their finest scrimshaw to traders from the south, while other common folk warm their hands and faces by small campfires. Everywhere across town, people are trudging through snow-covered streets on errands. Town's outer walls block the worst of the wind, but not all of it. A sudden blast occasionally catches everyone by surprise, causing shivers and grumbling all around. The mood of the town changes abruptly. Something is amiss. Pedestrians are vacating the square with great haste, disappearing into their hovels. As spear-toting guards with grim faces move with purpose toward the southwest gate, you hear a booming voice from that direction as it calls out, "Surrender, Artist Simber, or die!"
Oh shit.
What the fuck?
Surrender what or die?
Artist Simber.
Do we know what that is?
That's
That
the
is,
well we don't, but
yeah, you probably don't. I mean, anybody could make a history check if they wanted.
Oh, I forgot to mention, by the way, people call me Breeze instead of Bryce.
I think you
Breathe.
said yeah.
You
Yeah,
did.
dude.
I don't remember if I said it.
You know what I'm even gonna do? Watch this. Watch this.
Ooh, he's gonna do it.
Oh, you already did it. You switched it. You
Oh
beat me
wow.
to it. I was gonna change your nickname. And if you look, you probably, depending on when you are in the city, but I will just go like this. You can see
Ooh.
there are you see three giants, frost giants, and two winter wolves that are on like leashes behind them.
Oh wow.
Those are
Um,
some big things.
Yes, they are. Does what upon hearing this, what do any of you do?
I
Where are we specifically? Are we inside?
You're
we-
probably in. You're inside the city. It is up to you where you think you would be. There are. I can give you a couple of random locations that are around.
Well, the other thing is like we're like paired up with these NPCs, right?
Yeah,
So like, are we with them right now?
not necessarily, but you could be if you wanted to. You in particular definitely know, Markham Southwell, the sheriff, right? And Uvessa Shane. Like, so it's possible that you'd be with them. They're all, if you see, they're all up near the front gate.
I also have Markham. Does that mean I know him?
Not necessarily, but you can if you want. He probably doesn't like you very much.
Yeah, he probably doesn't like me. That's how I know him.
I'll say that I was like trying to talk to them, and they were like, "Not now, go away."
Yeah,
So that would mean I'm near them.
you're over there. Yeah,
So
they probably were like actually somewhere else, but they run over to the gate.
if there's like a place like a town square type deal, I want to say that I was there, and then when I hear that, I run looking for Sirik.
Sirik is over here. He's at the church, the temple. If you can see him, you would probably know that's where he would be. So you head over to where Sirik is. Anybody else? It's okay if you don't have anything. I can continue.
I'd say
It's fine.
Josh and I are likely. I mean, I can't speak for both of us, but I would say we'd probably be like in a bar or restaurant.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna be. I'd be in bar.
I feel like I would want to see in more of like more of a curiosity as what the hell's going on. But yeah, I feel like a bar is fitting.
Gotcha. There is Kelvin's Comfort is right. Let me see if I can find it on the fucking map. Oh, right over actually where Danny's token was right here. I will go like this. Text. Oh, you can't read that. Well, too bad. It's right over there. All right. So you are also over here. Eventually, the Augrek, Duvessa, and Markham are talking about like among themselves. Breeze, you're kind of there, like trying to like listen in, like be involved, like make yourself useful. But they eventually decide that as the town speaker, Duvessa should step up, and she says, "There's no one here by that name. I don't know where you got that information. But I will not let you. Even if there was, I would not let you harm the people of this town, just because of whatever gripe you may have." And the leader is a woman. And she steps forward and she spits out, "Liar! He's here and we know it. I will repeat myself. Bring the man forward or die. You and everyone in your little town."
Yikes.
That's intense.
what?
At this point, Markham takes kind of stock of the situation, and he turns to you, Breeze, and he's like, "All right, I need you to try to find a way to get everybody out of the city. We're gonna delay as long as we can,
Oh shit! How everybody? What?
as many as you can, right?
Oh god!
I mean, that's our job to protect the city."
All right, here I go. I guess I start just like running through the corridors of the town, yelling. I mean, I don't really have anything else I could do.
Yeah, so the town at this point is in complete chaos. Like people are hearing this and are like running through the streets. There's fighting over like resources, food, and stuff like that.
Oh,
Like,
here's what. All right, here's.
oh, go ahead.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I want to waste one of my spells right now, but fuck it. I'm gonna cast Fly on myself.
Oh shit. Okay.
So then I'm just gonna fly like over the masses and just be like, evacuate the city. Go to the north. Go to the east gate. Word from Markham's south wall. Evacuate the city. Just like flying around.
It's at this point, so you fly up above the city, and as you're saying this, you look around. And hold on, let me go
That's
like
one of my
this.
spells. Woo.
It's all right. It lasts a long time, and that's when you see
Oh,
there's a shit ton of these giants, all walking up.
Oh,
Some
wow.
towards the east gate, but like surrounding.
Oh shit! Change
Oh,
of
wow.
plans. Don't evacuate the city. Stay in
I
your
think
home.
we are ready to take this on.
Wait, so when I see that, I'm just gonna turn around and fly right the fuck back.
what the fuck?
And tell Markham.
Yeah, be like, I don't think evacuating's a good idea. We're pretty fucking surrounded. They're
Well,
everywhere.
then, we could what do you think? We could try to create like a diversion, maybe. I mean,
I mean, do we have any idea what they want? What this is a
apparently this artist Simber person, but I
Can you
I
spell
don't.
that for me?
He genuinely doesn't even know who that is.
Yep, we don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Well, then, what are we gonna do? I don't like. They don't seem like they can be reasoned with. I mean, I could try. I have some potential help for that. But
At this point, you can see actually you're like floating there. You can see the giants are beginning to pull out like giant axes, and walking menacingly towards the front gate. The wall it's probably starting enough that it'll hold them for a little bit, but not long.
I mean, do you want me to be the one to negotiate? I don't know if I had. That's my job.
It certainly is not, and Duvessa is now like climbing up to try to get to like one of these like watchtower things here, and gets as close to the lead giant as possible. And she's like, and she just says, "Look, you can do whatever to me, but the person you are seeking is not here. It's possible somebody in this town has information about this person, but I personally do not know who he is. And if you just there's no way you're going to be able to get anybody to help you. She's like trying to use the like reasonable like mother talking down their very angry 14-year-old who's upset about fucking something at high school. I don't know, right? Like trying to like use the like let's calm down, we can work this out, like kind of thing. Whoever has Duvessa Shane, why don't you make a persuasion check?
I do have Divesta Shane. That works out well.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can figure out how to do that.
Yeah. So if you click on it, so you see her token. If you double click on her token, you can open up her character sheet, and then go over to character sheet, and then if you just click, she does have persuasion +5, so if you just click on that, it'll roll it.
If I double click, it just says edit token.
Shift double click. My bad.
There we go. Character sheet. Skills, persuasion. I did it.
Well,
That's good.
okay. I'm gonna have everybody roll initiative.
Yay.
So here's how we're gonna do this. I said it. We've had some struggles in the past with getting initiative. There's like this turn order thing. And let's see if I can get it to open. Not right now. Yeah, getting it to go actually on the thing. So what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna click on your token. And then in the chat type hashtag and start typing initiative, and it'll come up. Enter, and then enter again, and it'll add it to the turn order. Let me know if that actually does come up or not.
I did it.
You did it. Turn order, and now everybody can see. Right.
Sorry, what do you do after hashtag initiative?
That's it. And then
Yeah.
in the turn order.
Yeah,
pop
but you
up.
have to click on your token, Cameron. It looks like you did not click on your token.
There was no modifier on my initiative roll.
Interesting. Should you have one?
I believe so.
Let's take a look
Let
here.
me double check.
Oh yeah,
thought
I
I
should probably
had
have a modifier
positive.
too.
Maybe it doesn't. It's not gonna fucking work.
Yeah, I have
Um,
+2. I mean, it's not super important.
I have +3, so
And I also have +2.
It still works.
Oh, wait, hold on. It said if you hover over the 10,
Oh,
it
Oh,
says
it
rolling 1d20 +2.
so did it.
Yep.
Oh, okay, cool.
Cool. Okay, and then also add in your NPCs. You can do it the same way.
Oh shit. Did that work? Yeah, it did.
I think so. Yeah.
I did the dex roll for my NPC, but it
Danny
didn't.
is one stubborn bastard.
I didn't hear what you said. I was distracted. Greg was telling me about my mic in Roll20.
Okay. So Danny, who's your NPC?
Sirik.
Cyric. Okay, Cyric's not in here. Okay, so Danny, if you click on the token and then in the chat type hashtag and start typing initiative, a macro will come up that will actually
That's
get it to go in there.
the nat 1.
My NPC wasted their nat 20 on the initiative.
That's exactly how it works.
Why is
Yeah.
the turn order not in order?
I'll fix it in a second. I'm gonna assume everybody's in at this point. Do I see Cyric? Yeah. Okay. Sort descending.
Nice.
Okay. So we're gonna be doing this. I assume the plan is not to attempt to fight the giants head on. Am I correct?
That would be
Is
accurate.
Is Markham my NPC? Because I can't select him.
I think he is.
He's the sheriff, right?
Yeah. Let me see if you have access to him. Oh, can be. I see. Josh, save changes. You should be able to now. And does that mean? So that means he has to be added in.
Like, still can't click him.
You still can't.
Mm-mm.
What the heck, Markham? What's up? Shift double click. Edit. Says can be edited and controlled by Josh B.
Should I refresh?
You shouldn't have to. Try one more time. Yeah, I'm just gonna move him out of the way.
No, I'm not getting anything.
Nothing. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna really quick add him to initiative. You can still control him, but I'll figure it out. I mean,
That's fine. That's
yeah.
cool.
Okay, so we're gonna do this as essentially as a skill challenge. So we'll just go. You'll understand how it works as we go. So Nima, at this point, it is clear you hear the crashing as the giants are slamming their axes against this front gate. What do you do?
You said Nemo?
Yeah, you're first.
Oh shit. I say to Daisy, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I don't really know what's happening. I don't really know what kind of action I would take.
So I will. So
I
okay.
would maybe
So,
I'll run outside of the building and see what kind of sight I can get on anything that's happening.
so outside is sheer chaos. The commoners are like basically running around like chickens with their heads cut off. They don't know where to go. Some of them are saying we have to try to get out of the city. Some of them are saying we can't. There are all these giants around. Some of them are actually you can see you look are literally trying to climb over like the walls of the city, like not go out one of the gates. It is absolute madness. Now the goal of a skill challenge is to get essentially get a certain number of successes on ability checks before the group gets a certain number of failures. So every success you get gets you guys closer to getting out of the city, essentially, or whatever you're trying to accomplish. Maybe in the end it is actually trying to fight some of the giants, but we'll get there when we get there. So I'm assuming Nemo's first instinct is, all right, I got to get out of here.
Yes, I would do that, but I would definitely do that with Daisy.
With Daisy. Okay, so what do you do to help you and Daisy get out of the city?
I'll maybe if I can would I have knowledge of like, I don't know, routes in and out? Would I know that there's these different? I would probably know that there's these different gates. Um,
You would know the different gates. Are you say like there's the possibility that there's like a some sort of secret exit or maybe like underneath in the sewers or something like that? If you
yeah, no,
want,
let's do that. Maybe me and Daisy try to take to the sewers.
gotcha. Let's
Or I mean, I
make
can't speak for Daisy. Josh, do you
I mean,
grant your
I feel like my
blessing?
instinct would also be, let's get the hell out of here.
yeah. All right. So make a survival check for me.
Just Nemo or myself as well?
Nemo. 14. So that is a success. So you guys have one success now.
Oh wait,
So
as Eldora. Whoops.
then
Wait, let me.
fascinating choice.
There we go.
All right, didn't matter. So yeah, so you know that there probably from one of your schemes, right? That there is like these underground sewers. They're very rudimentary, but they do and they smell terrible, but they do represent a way out. You could get out to the south. It pops out kind of maybe almost a mile away from town.
Cool. I'll definitely
Beldora
help.
Beldora is yeah, so you guys are gonna start heading that way. So that's one success for you guys. Beldora is up next, which you also control, right, Cameron?
Yes, I'm not gonna
Okay,
lie. I
so
don't really know much about her other than that she's in the Harpers.
so if you click on her, you do get like instincts and stuff, right? Idea, yeah.
Okay, so she's cool. Um, would it be a cop out for me to say that me and Josh were with Beldora and that she's coming with us?
Uh, you can just
Okay.
keep in mind that if you do that and she doesn't actually do anything herself, you're not actually helping the group win the skill challenge. I know it's like an
Okay.
esoteric like weird thing, like you can't see the numbers and stuff, but like essentially as we go, it'll get harder and harder for you guys to escape the city as these giants eventually break down the gates, start rampaging through, etc., etc.
All right. Maybe she'll do something else. Maybe she'll, because of where she is, she's just gonna be like, oh, I'm close to the north gate. I'm gonna dash for it.
She's just going for the north gate.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Make an athletics check. How about that?
All right. How do I do? So her character sheet doesn't have all the different things on it. Oh wait.
So if she doesn't have the proficiency, then it's not going to show up. So then you would just make a strength check.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So, as Beldora is trying to, she, the giant up here is throwing these stuff, like picking up like large boulders, icy boulders covered in snow, and chucking them on the city. And one of the buildings, let's say she gets, I don't know, like here or whatever, like one of the buildings is smashed directly in front of her. Make a dexterity saving throw for her.
There's
All
no
right.
like save thing, but I just rolled dex.
Yeah, then if she doesn't have proficiency, just roll dex. Okay, so that is a success. So she's okay there. She takes 10 bludgeoning damage from all the debris. And there are a bunch of people that were there with her, and a bunch of the like are trapped in the debris essentially. And now there's even more chaos as this major road is cut off. Augrek.
Oh shit, that's okay. So I think what she would want to do is try to make sure that the citizens are safe. Um, so she's gonna run into town, try to find like women, children, all that, and find some place for them to hide or get away. I'm not sure how much knowledge she has of the city, if there's any
Oh, she
escape
would know it
routes
like the back of her
or
hand.
okay.
So yes, she would probably also know that the sewers might be a good escape option. Um, trying to get the citizens to focus enough and listen to her to actually like go, because she's like the deputy, sheriff's deputy or whatever, right? So she's kind of like the one that nobody necessarily takes seriously, even though she's genuine. So make a persuasion check for her to try and get people to start heading towards
Alright.
these sewers.
Let me check. Okay, yeah, she's got no charisma, so it's just gonna be a straight roll. So just /R 1d20.
Yep, or you can just click on that works. Oh shit. Okay, yeah. So that is another success for you guys. So yeah, she manages to start gathering women and children and heading off towards one of the stairs and lifts off the rudimentary like grate that's there.
Okay, cool.
There's a ladder and is like it's gonna take a while, but she starts motioning people to get down. She might be able to save a decent number of people that way.
Nice.
Breeze,
Okay. I
you are
see.
flying.
I'm flying, and I see Duvesta just like standing on the precipice, like trying to talk to them.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna fly over and try to like grab her
yeah.
and like get her out.
Get her to safety.
Yeah.
That is probably what, maybe athletics?
Whatever.
I can see
That's
that.
athletics.
I'll say athletics, and because you're flying, I'll give you advantage on it.
Advantage athletics. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I'm proficient in that. Look at that.
Look at you go.
19.
19. Oh yes. So okay. So she's just standing there and she finishes her statement and she really was convinced that she was gonna talk them down. She's pretty confident in her own abilities. And then as they are raising up the great axes, she's just dumbfounded and is like staring up at it. And then it's like in the superhero movie where like Superman flies in and grabs her
Hell
right
yeah.
out of the way, right as the axe is about to come down on her, and the giant gets this axe stuck and has to pull it out of the stone there.
And
That is
as,
another success for you guys.
and as I grab her and fly, I'm gonna be like, I don't think that they're open to much reason.
Perfect. All right. You guys are doing quite well here. Mannequin number 5.
All right, this is awkward, but I kind of had a similar idea to Cam in that I was gonna ask Cyric if he knew, like, of any ways to get out of the like of the city that
So
weren't just like out of gate.
I'll say what you can do is you can make a survival check for Cyric. I will say the DC is going to get higher as we go, especially if you're making kind of the same checks over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely still possible. So you can do it that way, or you could have and kind of like switch your turn with Cyric for right now, because it's not actually like I just used initiative so that we have kind of a flow.
Wait, did you skip Cyric?
Maybe I did.
I think he was first. Type in
Oh,
email.
maybe because he got added late. It was weird.
So can I
Okay,
make the
let's
survival
have
check
Cyric do
first?
that. Yeah, let's do that.
So survival is
Is wisdom based.
all right, and he doesn't have proficiency, so let's just roll wisdom. 15.
He knows that there are. He doesn't know about the sewers, but he does know that the temple that you guys are at has these underground catacombs that are rarely used. That might be a good hiding place and might have some kind of exit down there.
Okay,
That is another success.
and then I guess mannequin will begin to move towards that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Tony.
All right. So Tony's instinct while he's in the bar, um, is kind of to do that thing that Frank did in Always Sunny. I don't know if you guys have seen the episode where the convenience store is getting robbed, but
Oh yeah.
um, he's not gonna actually do that the whole time, but he does grab a bit of food and then he's gonna try to make his way outside and assess the situation, see if there's any spot that seems like the safest, or if there's like some hole in the giant's attack where he could sneak through.
Gotcha. How about make a perception check.
All right. Um, how do you do it? So that it rolls with their modifiers and stuff. Is that like a?
If you double click, so if you open your character sheet, which you can do by shift double clicking on your token.
Okay.
Oh, get out of here. We know where Calvin's comfort is at this point. We can.
So I did that.
And then if you click on, you should have like the list of skills under character sheet,
Uh-huh.
and then
Yeah.
you just click on it, and it'll and come on, roll 20. Work with me.
Okay. So you said perception.
Perception, yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, nice. Okay, so you were just looking for maybe like a way, that you might be able to kind of sneak past the guards, the giants' attacks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see, you hear, well, probably more hear that these giants are heading over to help break down this gate here. The wall is high enough that they can't really
Okay.
climb over.
Cool,
So
cool.
they are definitely coalescing around the gates. Probably all these over here. Maybe this one goes this way, I guess.
Sean, question.
Yep.
What is around the city, if anything? Or is it
So
just nowhere?
there is Brinchender is the southmost of the 10 towns. So there are behind up to the north. Let's see, does it actually have the trail marked? Yeah, this trail leads up to 9 other smaller towns. This is definitely the biggest one, that are mostly fishing towns and stuff like that. Heading downward, let me take a look. The immediate area is basically nothing, right? Like it would be a pretty far trek. The closest town going downward is a place called Hundlestone, which is, let me go up. It's sort of kind of, it's a pretty difficult trek from Brinchundare to Hundlestone, but it is a mining town. So that is what's directly south, but that's probably a full day's travel. The immediate surrounding area is mostly just wilderness, like icy forests, some like mountains, some just trails, that kind of wilderness essentially. Close by, there's also the Spine of the World mountain range, which is mostly to the southwest. But no, like other besides to the directly to the north, there are no towns nearby.
Okay.
All right. So that was Dan with Tony. Markham.
All right, Markham's a sheriff, right? Like, so
Yeah.
I feel like his instinct is just gonna be protect the people, try and gather them and get them somewhere safe. I feel like he would know about like a shelter or someplace.
Yeah.
So I feel like his first thing would be try and gather attention of people around and direct them to a safe spot.
Gotcha. So he would probably also he probably would definitely have the same idea of like underneath the catacombs and the church. So, but once again, I would say probably like just to calm the crowd and get them to move orderly, because at this point, like, people are actively fighting with each other for resources and stuff like that. Like, this is sheer chaos. So how about a persuasion check?
Yeah, is he? I can't tell if he's like proficient in.
Oh yeah, you can't see. I'll tell you what he's got going on here. Not Beldora, Markham. So he is proficient in perception and survival. But he does have a positive bonus for charisma in general.
So I guess just roll a d20.
Yeah, here I can click on it. I got it. So that is a 12. So unfortunately he can't like. Ogric has already started collecting like women and children and taking them one direction. So the people that are left are they've been separated by some of their family members. They're panicking. Their first instinct when they hear women and children is that like most of the people are going to die, and they're trying to protect. Like they're kind of being considered first and foremost. So they are actively in front of him. Like this brawl opens out essentially over this cart of supplies, coats and food and stuff like that, like the shuttle. So yeah, so there is now an all-out brawl going on. Unfortunately, 12 is not going to do it. That's a failure. So which I think is only the second for the group. So you guys are still doing all right. We are almost wow. You see, there's so many people. There's 10 people that have to go. A round takes a long time. Daisy.
All right.
So you've traveled with Cameron.
Yeah, I feel like we'd just be fleeing. So he knows about the sewers, right?
Yeah.
The survival check. I feel like I'm like tiny. I'd be trying to like run as fast as I can, like kind of dodging, like weaving through people's legs and stuff, trying to find the closest grate to kind of dip in.
Yeah. Okay. So you dip in, and as you guys go down, you're like you think you've got this brilliant idea of like, okay, we're gonna just kind of get out of this situation, no big deal. The sewer right now, there are hundreds of women and children that Ogrek is trying to navigate through.
Damn.
Oh shit.
It smells terrible, and there's honestly just almost as much chaos down here as there is up on the surface. What's your plan? Are you continuing with this? Are you going somewhere else? What are you doing?
I feel like I would want to see if I could think of any other, like, like how like bars, like they have like cellars underneath for like wine or like smugglers tunnels or something like that. I would want to see if I would know any of those because like I hang around the bars, probably like the not amazing places to find out that kind of stuff.
Yeah. How about make a maybe just like a straight up intelligence check?
Oh god. Okay. Ooh.
There you go. Yes. So, ironically, the bar that you just came from, which is Kelvin's Comfort, named after the mountain that looms over the town, has a cellar like that. It's a pretty popular bar, so it's possible that other people had the same idea, but might be worth a shot. That is another success for you all.
I feel like my instinct then would be the kind of like nudge Nemo and be like, "Hey, screw the sewers. Let's dip out down there."
Yeah.
And I'll say Roger, Roger.
And finally, Duvessa, and then the state of things are going to change.
So, Duvessa was very confused, slow to react, got
Yeah.
scooped up by me. She's just gonna like think of a place that she knows in the city where she can be safe, and she's gonna tell Breeze how to get there.
Okay, so she has let me see what it's called. I don't do this anymore. Okay, so where she lives is it's actually literally called the where is it? It's like the Palace of the Speaker or something like that. It's got like a fancy name.
Damn.
I can't find it right now. Locations. Speaker's Palace. So it's like a private residence. Palace is a certainly an overstatement. It's a nicer house than the other buildings here that are mostly just like put together, kind of smaller, nothing exciting buildings. And there is like a essentially what would function as a safe room underneath.
Mhm.
She does obviously. I think she's smart enough to know that the building, because it is nicer than the other buildings, would maybe draw more attention than other places. But that would be her private like safe spot to.
So, oh, Sean's gone.
Oh boy. Ripperino.
guys that got Sean, the ice giants.
We thought of every outcome, but we never considered that they could get the DM.
Yeah.
He was like, "Who's that guy giving him all these successes?"
Hello.
Hey,
Welcome back.
Whoa.
There we go. Roll 20 is Nolan T does not like us.
Nolan T's a hater.
Yeah. So what check should she do to somehow get Breeze to take her to the right place?
Let's see what she could maybe do. So you're flying, so it's not like difficult to get there or anything. Probably it's up to you. What do you think she would do? Do you think she would try to get there without like drawing a lot of eyes, like trying to save herself kind of thing, or no? Because if so, then she could make like a
So it says in her ideals, the people of Icewind Dale are survivors. They can weather any storm. Is
Yeah.
Icewind Dale this?
This is part of Icewind Dale, yeah.
So I feel like she is gonna. I don't know.
Like she maybe she's like, yeah, they're survivors. They can handle themselves. Like
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They'll be okay. The people that are in charge of that can handle the crowds. I need to get to safety.
all right.
'Cause,
So I'll give you the option. You can have her make the stealth check, or you as Breeze make the stealth check.
I think I would be better.
Then go for it. There you go. Yeah, not bad. Yeah. So, the sheer chaos she has you actually just like kind of like dart over a couple of buildings, and then you land directly in front of the Speaker's Palace, which is. Let me make sure where on the map it is. Not that it's a big deal, but
P5. There's a thing with walls around it.
yeah, I think that's probably it. B B5, yeah, nice. So boom. So you're down. And you kind of look to hide out there. So before Sirik goes, at this point, Augrek is in the sewers. We'll just put her there. Markham is trying to control the people here. So the giants managed to break down this gate and start storming in here. One of them obviously does recognize Markham as sort of a leader, and once again just yells, "Where is the the puny man?" Right, and is going to make an attack by literally takes a chunk of one of the buildings and just chucks it at Markham.
Oh wow.
That is a 23 to hit.
You
Doesn't
shield.
hit.
I'm sorry. Oh, who has Marco? Oh, Josh does, but you can't see. What's his AC? I don't. 23 hits him. I'm pretty confident, but 17, so not bad, but still hits. He takes 27 bludgeoning damage.
Is he dead?
Christ.
He is not dead.
I want
Oh,
that
wow.
quote.
damn.
He's got actual like levels. He
He's
has
a lot
58.
healthier than
Yeah. He
Duvesta.
has about 30. He's about halfway. He's bloodied now. Yeah, the rock just slams in the back, and he goes skittering literally through the crowd. And now all the people that were fighting over this food and these coats and resources, look up, and see the giant towering over them and Markham like there, like on the ground, and they all just bolt. They take down towards like the town square, essentially here, over here. Over here, these giants haven't quite broken through yet. So they are just chucking like dirt, rocks, boulders over and just destroying the outskirts of the town. But they haven't chosen to like break through yet, essentially. Yeah, let's just see. So okay, so Sirik and Mannequin, you are underneath the temple. Right.
Mhm.
Nobody else has arrived yet. So it's just you two down there. You don't have to do anything if you want. I will tell you, you probably can hear now the giants are getting closer. Have broken into the city. So it's up to you if you think that this is actually a place that you will survive or not.
Can I like make a check to see how like fortified this area is?
Yeah, absolutely. How about
Investigation.
investigation? I think would be the best. Yeah.
So that's intelligence.
Yep. Oh wow, you guys are kicking ass. Um, the it's not particularly well built. This is not a. There are some some handymen and stuff. Like everybody in this town is decently competent, but like there are no like architects or anything that we're gonna fortify this thing. So this one boulder from these giants, and this thing is going down. And
Gotcha.
it could potentially collapse onto you.
Okay, and there weren't tunnels or anything. It was just under here.
You don't know. You can
Okay.
look around on maybe on Mannequin's turn.
All right. I think that's what I'll do.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Go for it, Nemo.
All right, so the last thing I experienced, well, so there was this whole thing that just happened right now, but Daisy told me about coming with her to this spot in the I'm forgetting the name of the bar, but
Karen's Comfort or something
yes.
like that, I think.
So I think I'm certainly going to follow. I don't know. I just follow whatever that move was, trying to find this alternative route.
Okay, so you're trying to go back over to the bar, the tavern.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you get out, and of course, once again, it was pretty popular. This is an idea that people seem to be having. People are moving towards it. Are you trying to like push your way and get down there first?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So up to you. You could do like some kind of charisma check to like try and assert your dominance and go through. You could do some kind of athletics check to kind of push your way to physically push your way through and get down there first. Or I guess those are the two that I can think of. But
Well, I mean, could I theoretically be like weaving in and out of people very deftly? You
you
know,
want
just
to try to do acrobatics?
yes.
Yep, absolutely. You can go for it. It's probably going to be a little bit more difficult than athletics, but it's definitely doable.
Okay. Shit.
Ooh. So yeah, so your idea is you see there is a cart that's kind of like tilted and it's got a white cloth on it. And you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna use this and like climb up and go around. The cart is not secured though, and you go to to climb on it to get over people, and it just like starts to roll away and it slips out from under you. And now you are prone, and people are like literally climbing over you to try to get wherever they're trying to go.
Lord.
That is a failure, unfortunately.
Damn.
Beldora.
Oh shit! I forgot I.
Beldora is was not trapped under the rubble. But there's a bunch of rubble. One of the giants threw a stone over and destroyed one of the buildings in front of her. She's definitely wounded.
So I mean, so Beldora is native to the area, so I think if maybe if she found an alternative route, or like to the right or something, or to the left, I'll say she jumps to the left to try to find an alternative back roads way that isn't this main thing right here.
Yeah.
So
And she's still just trying to get to the gate.
she's still just trying to get out of the gate and then run out of the city past the giants.
So I will say she does manage to do that. There are a bunch of other regular common folk with her actually following her lead. She's fairly charismatic, I think, right?
Yeah.
So they see her going. They see her as just like a sort of town leader, even though she isn't officially. So they're leading. So she comes around and gets here, and she realizes that she's not going to be able to get out of this gate easily, right? She's going to have to come up with some other plan. So it is up to you if you have an idea of what she would try to do. You can go for it, or we can wait until next round. I'll say you guys are a little over halfway to being successful. I mean, successful is a relative term in that it seems like we're mostly going to end up hiding in places, and then we'll see what happens from there. But yeah,
Well, I guess I'll say when she realizes this, maybe looking for some kind of nook in between, like a building, like some buildings and stuff to like take cover in.
yeah, okay. She can make a stealth check. We'll put her like over here.
So like these NPC things don't have like a
Yeah, they don't have the skills unless they're like proficient in them, right?
hmm.
So, all right. Well, okay. So the first, I'm gonna take the first one. So the 9. So that is not a success. She does not know that though. So she is kind of like cowering.
Wait, whoops, I didn't mean to hit that multiple times.
It's all good. It sometimes roll 20 is like slow as well. So yeah, we will see what happens to her at the beginning of the next round. It's not going to be good. Ogric. So Ogric is currently navigating women and children from the sewers. So she can continue doing that, or if you've got some other idea, you can do that. But it would probably just be another straight charisma check.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why she would change her tact
Yeah.
now. So, all right, so I just click on charisma. Okay, cool. So
Okay.
that's that.
So yeah, so that's pretty decent. That is still a success.
Oh,
So she is continuing kind of at this point. She's got everybody calm. The next thing that she's gonna have to do is actually navigate her way out of here. But she's at a point where she doesn't have a bunch of women and children crying and screaming at her like, what are we gonna do? So she's successfully has this group kind of under control at this point. Breathe. So
wonderful.
you and what's her name? Devessa. Yeah. You are currently holed up in her palace.
Okay, so are we in the safe room?
Yes.
And like, what's in there?
You
Is it,
don't.
like,
So in there, she's got enough food and water for probably about 2 weeks. She can't really. She doesn't have any means to store food longer than that, unfortunately. Here. A bed. This like big heavy like iron door essentially that shuts. That can then be like barricaded. Is there anything in particular that you are looking for?
I don't know. Like, is there anything else to do to just kind of wait?
Probably not. If you think that this is your plan, probably not.
I think. Uh.
You don't necessarily like. You don't have
All right,
to
here's
feel.
what I'm gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn to Devessa and be like, like, real talk? Do you know who this person is that they're looking for? Because they're destroying the city.
That's true. Let's make this isn't. I don't know how this actually contributes to the thing. So let's see here. I'm gonna make a nice intelligence check for her. 9. She probably has heard the name. She's heard the name before. Artist Simber is an inventor, an artificer that rumor says he has this ring that makes him I can't think immortal. I couldn't think of the word. But she has no idea if he's ever been here before. Definitely doesn't know if he is here right now. Does not know that Cyric is his son or Mannequin's connection at all.
Can you spell the name of
Of the guy.
December? Because I hear you saying this and I'm like thinking because I want to take. Okay.
So I mean, if you don't know who this is, maybe I leave you here and go and like try and find him. See if I can like I don't even know how I would even have a chance of finding him in the city, but I could fly around and look, see if
Yeah.
it looks like the type to be artist Simber.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to, you can make a perception check. I will say you still probably have a little bit of flight, so I'll say at advantage because
Yeah,
you're
probably
kind
about
of
10
flying over the
minutes.
city.
So, all right,
It's like our December, nice.
perception 14.
14. So I mean, you don't. To be fair, you don't have a lot of information about him, so you can't be sure that he isn't here, right? But you don't see anybody that fits the bill at all, right? Like there's nobody. You can kind of sense almost when somebody is important enough to have that kind of thing. So he's either in hiding somewhere in the city or not here at all, essentially.
Great.
Do you remember the 21st night of December? That is a success. Mannequin number 5.
All right, I'm gonna look around to see if there are any tunnels.
Probably also going to be investigation.
Hey.
Bam. So that is a success. So yeah, you guys are getting real close to winning the game. I know it's kind of esoteric, but it's instead of running this as a weird chase hybrid combat thing, I figured we would try something different, a little bit more freeform. But unfortunately, there's you can't find any way out down here.
All right, well then I'm gonna make my a break out and try to get to the like where I think might be the I guess just an exit, like just out of the city.
Okay, so your options would be to try to get to one of the 3 gates, or maybe try to find some way over the wall. These walls are pretty high, like they're probably 15 feet high.
Mm-hmm.
So you would need to come up with some way to actually get over the walls, but it is possible.
Um. Hmm. I'm trying to think. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, that's fine. We'll go. We're probably gonna get to go around one more time, so we can.
All right. I'm pretty like in the middle, so I'm just gonna start making a move outwards.
Okay. Are you taking Cyric with you?
Yes.
Okay. What if he doesn't want to go? What if he's convinced that even though that they aren't, like, they're just looking for this one guy. Actually, Cyric, let's take a look at his things here. Without duty or loyalty, a man is nothing. Icewind Dale is where I belong for the rest of my life. I am honest to a fault. He'll probably just go with you.
All right. Word.
So you guys are heading out like this way, over to like one of the walls over here, maybe. Tony.
All right. So the bar is clogged with people trying to get down there, and the sewers are clogged with people trying to get down there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, last turn I did my perception thing to see what the deal is with these giants, where they're moving. So would I know where like the gap would be, say, in like the northwestern wall? Like
Northwest.
in their
Yeah.
formation?
I think you definitely get the sense that most of the giants are coming in. They've managed to break down this gate, so they're you'll see at the end of this they're like filing in here and coming from south to north essentially. So
Okay.
the safest place would probably be up somewhere like here.
Then I will just make a dead sprint for right where you clicked.
Okay, make an athletics check.
All right. I gotta click on my data. Sorry. Oh, I'm on pan. Sorry. One
That's
second.
okay. I literally do it all the time. Oh shit. Yeah, okay. So yeah, you just take off like a shot running down. You actually you can see these frost giants are just like peering over the wall and throwing boulders, and there's like debris behind you, but you always manage to just duck out of the way and keep going. Yeah, you get to, we'll say you can get to this wall.
Wow.
Um Markham.
So Markham is on the ground because he was thrown by a boulder, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got at least, it looks like all of these giants are about to are like coming to like start marching down the street directly at him.
And what's around? Are there still people like in a crowd like around him, or is he got like
All
the
those
guard?
people that were directly in front of him took off like a shot towards the northern part of the city. So he is, I mean, there are still people around, like, but it's definitely not like a crowd right now.
Hmm. So I feel like at this point he just want to get out of the way, and not die. Maybe like dip off to like a side street or something. Algric, what is Algric's role again? Just so I see that face.
Augric is your like second in command. She's like the deputy, and she is currently leading women and children out through the sewer.
I feel like Markham is. I feel like he's gonna dip off the main street and get away from the giants because he's pretty badly hurt.
Okay, make a
I
stealth
tore
check
it
for
off.
him because they are hunting him down. They're not gonna. They know he's an important person. They don't want him to get away.
Is he proficient?
Oh, you still can't. I'll just click on it for you. It takes away some of the fun, but it is what it is right now. It's not.
Markham.
God damn it. So yeah, so he tumbles to the ground, gets up, and he sees the giants coming after him, and he tries to slip around into one of these side streets. And tries to hide. Doesn't think about the fact that these giants can literally peer over most of these like single story buildings and know exactly where he is.
He's gonna die.
Maybe Daisy.
All right. So Nemo's currently like on the ground, right?
Yeah,
Also, do I know who Artist Simper is at all? Or
you
does-
can make a history check if you'd like.
Is that my
History or
action?
Arcana, because he's also kind of known for his magical workings, whichever one is better for you.
Uh, I mean, they're both the same for me. So not probably don't.
No, you've never heard the name before in your life. You're not even convinced it's a real name.
All right. I feel like at this point, I'm running.
You
with
keep
cameras.
thinking that people are saying our December. You're like, why would they be looking for our month?
All right. I think my mind is just fixed on beating all these people to the cellar.
Trying
I
to get
see
in the
Nemo
cellar.
on the ground. I think I'm gonna try and run, do my best to get him up, and then just like keep weaving between people and trying to go.
Gotcha. Okay. You can make athletics, acrobatics, charisma, same options that Cameron had.
Oh, if it's charisma, I gotta go charisma. What would that be, like a persuasion?
Yeah, you
or-
could make a persuasion.
Oh my god! I have a +7.
Josh is gonna single-handedly lose us the skill challenge.
No, I blame Markham.
Yeah, it's all Markham's fault. Yeah, so you're there and you see Nemo on the ground and you just start yelling at people to get out of the way. Like like we need to like get off of him, like, and your plan is essentially like get people, yell at people to get out of the way, then pick him up and bolt, like run for it. But they are not listening at all. They can hear that you're a little scared. Your voice is shaking. Duvessa Shane. She is just kind of hiding out. So I don't know if there probably isn't anything that she can contribute, but if you can think of something, go for it.
Does she have like?
That sounded like the Skype startup.
Yeah, it did.
I don't know if there are any like records in this area that she could peruse to see if there's any like record of like this person entering the city or something.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Make it an investigation check.
If he's a big fancy artificer, maybe someone would have noticed.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Investigation. Is that intelligence?
That was you just rolled initiative for her.
I don't know how I did that.
So if you just click on where it says intelligence.
Yeah, I was just.
Yeah, there we go.
15.
I'll say, you know what, 15, definite success. Yeah. There is record of a couple, like maybe how long ago did we say that Danny, that you and Sirik showed up here?
It was general. It was Cyric showed up in his teens and now he's in his 20s.
So okay, so we'll say about 10 years ago. It doesn't actually have the name Artisimber written down, but like this big hotshot guy with a fancy ring that he was showing off to everybody, came through and dropped off Cyric and this weird mannequin thing that Cyric hangs out with, and then just the next day was gone, and nobody knows where he went.
Great.
So if it was going to be anybody,
seems like it fits the bill. Seems
Yeah.
like he's no longer here.
Yep. All right. So at this point, before Nemo goes, these giants continue to file in the city. I'm just gonna go like this, and the lead giant literally reaches over the building and picks up Markham and has him like in her grasp. Where is the artificer?
Am I still controlling?
You are still Markham. Yeah. This is an interesting setup because it gives me absolutely no control over what happens whatsoever. Go ahead.
Does Markham like actually know who Artist Simmer is?
Has no idea.
What is he proficient in again? Anything like?
Let's
or-
see.
or is it,
Probably
like,
not
strength?
deception. Perception and survival are his proficiencies. He has a +2 in charisma, +3 to wisdom, +2 to strength. Like, yeah. So those are the main ones.
Ah, this is a really shitty situation.
It is a shitty situation.
I feel like at this point, Markham's like pleading. I don't know who you're talking about. I'm not opposed to you finding that. I just seriously have no idea who this person is.
Make a persuasion check. So roll. You can just roll a d20 /r d20, and he gets a +2.
Fucking Christ.
Before Markham can even finish his sentence, the giant just takes him and slams him head first into the ground. We can use this.
Honestly, he deserves it at this point. He's just like, holy shit.
So the giant can actually technically do it twice. He takes it's a 23 and a 17 to hit. Let's see if they both hit. Because that's how Dungeons and Dragons work. Armor class 17. Tigers to the roller. Perfect. He takes 47 points of damage.
Yeah, there's no way he's alive, right?
Yeah, he's out. I'm
God
just gonna give him whoop, he's gone.
If his
No,
armor
who-
class
who
was
made
18,
him
would he have not
sheriff?
hit the
Who
ground?
He would actually live. He would still be like unconscious in the guy's.
Damn.
No, this guy has no place being in charge of law
Yeah.
enforcement.
These other giants, I don't even know who can say it. Actually, yeah, the one giant eventually is just like not getting a lot done. Has destroyed a lot of the town within range of his rock throwing capabilities, and just says fucking and just punches a hole in the wall. Steps this way.
Oh,
Actually,
yikes.
probably can't move that far. Let's say like here. I mean, this is all general, and this is not actually in 6 seconds. So, bam. And sees the kerfuffle that's going on out here outside Karen's comfort, and is gonna throw a rock at one rock at Daisy and one rock at Nemo.
Mm.
A 24 to hit against Nemo.
That hits.
All right, that's gonna be 20 bludgeoning damage,
Jesus.
and only a 14 to hit against Daisy.
Damn, that still hits.
Oh god, 30 bludgeoning damage.
Oh my god.
Rolled high.
Wait, how much damage did you say?
20 for you, 30 for Josh.
Jesus Christ. This is like the worst start to D&D campaign I've ever had.
This is a definite struggle. Similar, yeah. One of these giants over here, they're smart enough that their plan is they know their companions are walking up through the city. They can see them kind of marching up through. So they're just kind of trying to make sure that nobody gets through. They see Beldora trying to hide. She failed her stealth check, if we all remember,
Yikes.
and is of course going to throw a rock. 16 to hit against Beldora. I'm checking her armor class. 12, yeah. She takes 23 bludgeoning damage. I'm gonna be honest, don't blame yourselves for these NPCs dying. I don't understand how you're possibly supposed to have kept them alive. It seems cruel for the adventure to have written, and if you keep these NPCs alive, you get an extra bonus quest. And it's like, all right, here's Beldora with 18 hit points. Literally one attack. So yeah, and all these wolves, they got a whiff of Devessa, so they're gonna
Oh,
try to
God.
hunt her down. I'm gonna say they usually get advantage from keen hearing and smell, but it's gonna be because she got away. They're also at disadvantage, so it's gonna be just neutral. Oh, I have to actually go like this. Fuck. Shift double click. Only an 11. So yeah, so they get the sense that she went this way, but they don't know where she is just yet. Okay, Nemo, you just got smashed by a boulder thrown by this giant, and you're staring up at it. It's kind of peering over all these buildings. What do you do?
So I just got nailed by that, but Daisy had alerted me to this other route that I could potentially take. Is that route still a valid option that Daisy had mentioned?
I'm sorry. Maybe I've lost track of it. I don't remember what this route is that we're talking about.
So Daisy and I were both heading back into the Kelvin's comfort to go down this other route that was mentioned.
Yeah. Well, no, the Kelvin's Comfort is just has a basement that you could go in. It's not like an escape from the city. It's just a place you could maybe hide.
Okay, maybe
It's just
I'll
the basic. It's
still
just
head
the.
for that.
It's a. You're still gonna head for that.
I think I'm still gonna head for that.
Okay, so. I don't know what check to honestly make it at this point. I'll say you can probably get in the building successfully. There are a shit ton of but you do know that this giant just watched everybody running in there. Right? This giant is looking at you as you do it. So it's up to you.
I have no clue what to do.
Josh's unfortunate failures. Well, and actually, it's Cameron and Josh, right?
The dream.
Because both of you and both your NPCs are no
I was
no
fine. I think just my NPCs were.
yeah. Suddenly made the you guys were pretty ahead of the curve before. But anyway, what do you do?
Flatten that curve.
Got to flatten that curve. These giants are going to flatten you if you don't do something in a second.
Hey, nice one, man.
So the giant is at this
Great.
point is walking up to the building.
Okay, so in that case, but there's this. Oh my God, there's so many things. There's so many other directions that I don't want to go towards. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do right now because everything around me is terrible.
Pretend you're a giant as well. Start throwing rocks.
Yeah. I mean, are you proficient in stealth?
Yes.
You could try to break away from the crowd into an alley and separate yourself. I mean, knowing that you probably just partially condemned a bunch of citizens to die, but you would be okay.
That's a great suggestion. I'm doing it right now.
Okay, yeah. So everybody's going into Karen's comfort, right? And you're going with the crowd until just at the last second you dip off into the alleyway and take off. You know that this giant is focused on that part of the town, and then you find a place to hide. In one of the just like an abandoned house, right? And it seems that nobody has any idea that that's where you are. Sirik is gonna. Danny says Sirik is gonna go for the wall, which is great, but I don't know how he wants him to go for the wall. How is he gonna climb over this 20-foot wall, Danny? He's not here. We don't know. So we're gonna wait, and we're gonna go over to Augrek. So Augrek is probably gonna make a survival check to navigate everybody out of these sewers, and say if you succeed on this check, you successfully saved the women and children.
Woo! All right, let's see me fail. Is that intelligence?
It is wisdom based.
Okay. 10.
Okay, well you get lost.
Yeah.
but maybe next time we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Danny, how is Sirik trying to get over? You said he's going for the wall. How does he is he trying to climb over it?
All right, so he doesn't have anything listed in his inventory.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure of his exact. How high is the wall exactly?
About 15 feet.
Is there anything against the wall that he could maybe jump up on?
I'll say he could maybe if he could get on one of the roofs of the buildings nearby, he could try to jump from the roof over. He definitely couldn't straight up climb 15 feet on the wall, but maybe this building over here it is going to be a tough jump, but it's doable.
All right, I'll say he goes for that then.
Okay, make an athletics check for him. Nice. So he jumps and it's and just barely manages to grab onto the ledge and pull himself up. Next he'll have to figure out how to get down.
Fair.
But yeah, he's somewhere over here. So that was Sirik. We did Augrek. We're up to you. Back to you, Danny.
All right. Well, Mannequin's just gonna try to follow his example.
Okay. Also gonna be an athletics check. There you go. Same thing. So you are now both on top of this wall, looking down. It's at 15 feet. This giant is pretty close by. They've gone this way, but he does not seem to notice you, at least as of yet. I'll probably have him make a perception check, but
Okay.
so you guys are both over here. Tony, so you are also over near the wall over here.
All right. So does this wall have crenellations or battlements like the like the juts that come out?
Probably yes. It looks like they do, right? There's little
Okay.
things.
So I don't know if yeah, I'm not gonna try to straight up climb it, I guess, because that would apparently not work. So I have 50 feet of rope. I was thinking of making either a lasso to try to lasso onto the crenellations, or just tie one of my pythons onto the rope and have like a kind of like a grappling hook
A
thing, just throw
grappling
that
hook kind of
over
thing.
and try to grab it taut.
Absolutely. So that is probably going to be also athletics, right? Like just to
Okay.
go for it.
Can't complain about athletics. Boom.
You guys are killing it.
Nice.
Everybody except for Trash and Can.
They're not,
So yeah, so you throw it over and then you start like climbing up like I mean it's not that it's that high, but like almost like the old Batman movie, like
Yeah,
and you manage to make it up also onto the wall.
nice.
The next fun challenge for me is going to be how do I actually get the party to all be together?
Yeah.
But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Sam, Breeze is up. Breeze has been scouring the city looking for artist Simber.
Yeah.
You see these giants. Actually,
Somehow
you,
my initiative changed. I don't know what happened there, but
ooh,
whatever.
that's weird.
Oh,
Oh,
did
I
you?
know what happened. You accidentally so you had your token selected
Oh,
and then rolled initiative on the other character sheet.
all right. Well, they're closer
it's-
together now, which is fine. So I was
It's all
scouring the
good.
city looking for the guy. I didn't find the guy. I probably just saw what's his face get ganked by the giant.
Yeah.
I guess I have no choice but to just go back to where Juvessa is and like hide it out and see
Yeah.
if well I don't know the information that she's gotten, so I'll maybe find that out from her.
And you find that out. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And if I find that out, then I might want to like I don't know, maybe take the record that says that like he's been gone and somehow like like I don't know if I can do this all in one turn, but I'm imagining that I take the
It's pretty
record
loose. Yeah.
and I fly out there and I want to cast Charm Person on the lead giant and then like
Okay.
show them the thing and try and convince them that they're not here.
Absolutely. So, what is your spell save DC?
That's an excellent question. It is 14.
Okay, and it's a wisdom save?
Uh yes. And it does so with advantage if you or your companions are fighting it, but I'm not fighting it.
I'm not going to say you're fighting it right now.
So.
Okay, so wisdom save
I
has to
could
be
use friends, but if I do that, then they immediately attack me when it ends, so I'm not
Yeah.
doing that.
I'm sorry, say what the save is again.
14 wisdom.
14. Okay, I am going to roll it in the open because if you miss this, it's going to be certainly interesting.
I mean, I can get away. I can fly, so
You can fly, so
I'm not
you're
super
probably going to be
concerned.
okay. Where do I have settings here? Yeah, I do. I want to set you to never whisper rolls. Wisdom save.
Nice.
Wow.
Okay. So tell me again what exactly it is that you say as you cast this spell.
So I'm gonna say, hello, oh great leader of the giants. I have been scouring the city looking for the person for which you seek, and I have here this record. I don't know if they can read, but
They can.
and what it says seems to think that the person you're looking for has came and went and left our city. I hope that you would consider sparing our worthless lives, as your goal will not be achieved by killing us.
So there are two other giants that are like flanking her, right? And as you're saying this, like one of them starts to lunge forward with the great axe, but she puts her hand out and stops them.
Nice.
reaches out and like obviously her hands are way
Yeah,
like
I'm gonna
pretty
like
big.
float up to like her hand level and just kind of like place it.
They sit, yeah, and she like pulls it real close and squints at the tiny writing for her. How long ago was this?
I don't know. Is there a date or time on the thing?
Devesta probably recognized that it was probably about from 10 years ago or so.
10 years ago.
Yeah,
All right. 10 years ago.
yeah.
I guess it's a lot. That's less helpful than I thought it would be, but okay.
And where is this this sun and device that it says were left here?
I don't know at this moment.
Let's read charm person for a second and get an idea of what's the limitations are.
It lasts an hour,
That's an hour, nice. That's helpful.
and I'd cast it using a third level spell technically. So I guess I targeted the two ones flanking it too.
Okay, so that yeah. We'll say
'Cause-
they all fail then for
Yeah.
simplicity. Charmed creature, it regards you as a friendly acquaintance. Okay, so it's probably not. So obviously, then their next question. So you say you don't know where Sirik and Mannequin number 5 are, but it's gonna ask you to go try and find them next.
Can I ask what your purpose is for looking for them?
That yeah. Let me see. Giant. Do-do-do.
I totally should have muted myself.
Um,
Could you pass me one of the seltzers?
ba-
Jess.
ba-
Could you pass me a seltzer?
um, they
Thank
are
you very
convinced
I appreciate it.
that Artist
Are you
Simber
okay?
is responsible. Let me see. Does it? What it actually fucking says here. Thinks Artist Simber is responsible for stealing an artifact from one of the giant like lords, essentially. Like there's a conch of teleportation that is
How long ago did he supposedly steal it?
supposedly probably within the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
This giant's name is Druffy. Druffy does not know where that information came from or anything. She's just following orders. But yeah, she would like to speak with Sirik at once. So she has this horn and she blows her horn, and that's when all the other giants they stop their assault on the town.
Nice.
And then bellows out, Sirik, show yourself. Sirik is on top of the wall about to escape the town. What does he do, Danny?
Ooh,
That's a hard call.
what's that alignment?
Let me see. All right, he's lawful good.
Oh,
He
no.
calls out. That was an accident. He says, "I am here."
The Druffy like literally just steps on, like it's like pushing and shoving buildings out of the way, just storms forward right up into Sirik's face and says, "Where is your father?"
I'm pretty sure he doesn't know, right?
He does not know. This adventure is insane. If he had any, I think we talked about this in over messages, Danny. But if he had any guess of where Artisimber might be, he was apparently last seen in Waterdeep. But that was over a year ago.
I guess he realized that.
Yeah. Picks Cyric up just to bring him closer and looks right in his eye and this
Why?
terrible breath. I don't know what's happening.
Might
And
try the front door.
and looks in Cyric's eyes and determines that Cyric seems to be telling the truth. Puts him down and motions for all the giants, and all the giants start. They don't no regard for the like sanctity of the buildings or anything. Like just stomps through, and they all begin to leave.
No, thank fuck.
Wow.
So things that probably happen eventually, right? After all the giants and the wolves leave, Duvessa calls for the entire town to gather in the town square. Certainly Cyric and probably Mannequin because you were with him. Does anybody not go? I guess. Cool.
No.
And Duvessa, she is looking for a couple of things. One, she wants somebody to go to and check on the other 9 towns, essentially, and see if they were also assaulted and see if they're okay. 2, she has an aunt living in Waterdeep, who owns a ship. And she would like to, hearing this news that the giants are probably heading there next, probably want somebody to try to get down to Waterdeep, race the giants there, and try to help save people in that city, but also save her aunt. Let's see what other fun quests you guys get. You also Ogric survived. Let's see what she has. I think she also has something with Waterdeep. So she recognizes that now she has to, the body of Markham is found, and she steps up. She's like, it's her job to protect this town now. And she thinks that if you need reinforcements for Bryn Chandler, and says that if wants somebody to travel to the home of the Brighthelm clan, her clan, it's called in a place called Ironmaster, which is perched at the western edge of Icewind Dale, to try and get reinforcements to bring back to the 10 towns. Not that she hopes that there won't be another attack immediately, but who knows, right? Who else is alive? Got Duvessa. You got Augrek. I'm missing one, am I not?
Yeah. Who is it?
Oh, Cyric. Oh, well, Cyric's is pretty obvious, isn't it? Cyric, of course, wants
Eldora's
you.
dead, right?
What?
Eldora.
Oh yeah, Baldora's fucking dead.
Cameron, you and I are so good at this game.
Yeah, so Cyric at this point confesses to the entire town that he's the son of Artisimber. So most people have forgotten this fact or have been kind of that even 10 years ago, day-to-day life here is so hard that most people are focused on surviving. They're not keeping track of other people's business. Specifically, he remembers that his father had a connection with the Roaring Horns, which is a noble family from Waterdeep. So obviously his quest is go to Waterdeep and try to find out where his father is. Maybe he can get access. He feels a duty to get this ring, and whether then it means giving over this ring to the giants, or this also this conch of teleportation, to appease them and stop this, or do whatever he needs to do to make it up to the town of Bryn Shander. So it's 9:34. What is our game plan next? I'm gonna make the judgment call that probably you all step forward to take on one or all of these tasks, and it's a
Okay.
very exciting moment as the adventuring party is formed. Just to get us, let's just get us over that hurdle here really quick.
I would definitely be interested in going to Waterdeep since there's such a concentration of profit to be had.
Yeah.
I
So
feel like I
water.
would be in that line of thinking as
What
well.
was Duvessa's mission again?
Duvessa wants people to go check on the other towns of Tenda. So basically, there are two sort of like in the area missions that you guys got. There's check on the other towns, and go talk to the Bright Helm clan to try and get reinforcements.
Is the
Oh, I'm sorry.
Bright Helm
Duvessa. No,
clan-
Duvessa was also. She has the family in Waterdeep. She has an aunt in Waterdeep who owns a ship.
If the other
Um,
quests are at all on the way to Waterdeep, I would consider them as well.
So everybody can see this map here. So this is, let's add like this text, change our color. What is a good seeable color on this map? I think actually we might be able to go
Fuchsia?
like just go like this.
It's a big map.
It is a big map.
200 miles.
Probably a little bit smaller. There we go. So up at the top of this point over here is where Bryn Shander is. If I go like this, will it change the? That's terrible.
Can
Yeah,
you
I don't
draw a
see
white
anything.
box and then put the black text over the white box?
I might be able to. Things are. Roll20 is a challenging platform. What about something like? Can't maybe like a different font. Oh,
Or you could just do like different colored dots to represent the different places. I don't know.
yeah. For right now, I'm gonna no,
Even if you don't draw it on the map, maybe just like a summary of what.
definitely not. Yeah,
Doesn't have to be.
we'll just stick with black. So Bryn Shander is right at the top of this road, right?
Okay.
Then
Oh, there it is.
I'm not seeing anything on my map.
It just
That isn't you notifying us of anything. I mean,
the text
hold
Bryn
on.
Shader just appeared at the very top left
I'm
corner,
shifting.
basically.
Oh, okay.
shit!
It's right there. And I will
Gotcha.
between sessions I will like fix the map and make it better as we go. Waterdeep. Go like this. Is this I believe is right around down here. Sorry, I have a lot of locations on here and it's confusing.
You all good.
Looking for a small body of water. Oh, it's like all the way down here. Okay. So yeah, text. It's like down here. Waterdeep. Bam. It's obviously not in the middle of the fucking forest. And then the other one, where the Brighthelm clan is. Is, let's see here. Got it. Is actually pretty close by. It's right over. Well, let me zoom out far enough now. Is right over. Come on, roll 20. I'll get better at this particular aspect of it as we go. But
Dude, you're great at this shit. I don't even know half the stuff you're doing. I don't even know how you get the maps down here.
that's true. You don't. But and believe me, it is quite a struggle. Boom. I fixed it. Okay, text. It's like up here. It's at this top of this road here. Iron something. Iron Master. You could get out of here. Is like right over here. So that's obviously the closer thing is Iron Master, right? And then navigate all the way down. The 10 towns are then further up, like they're not like on the map, but like if you see that little green dot, it's like above
yeah.
Brinchandere. That's
Yeah.
like there's like a road that leads up that way, and that's where the 10 towns are. So that's obviously super close as well. Close. So yeah, so for whatever separate reasons that you all come up with for stepping forward here.
Profit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the sake of convenience, I'm down with any quest. For the sake of narrowing it down, my character would probably go for either the Iron Master and then Waterdeep or straight to Waterdeep.
Okay. Anybody else?
I feel like-
Cameron, I'm gonna point to you like navigating wise. What do you think?
Navigating wise, I mean, the Iron Master's incredibly close to us, so if we wanted to bust that out and then maybe do the Waterdeep thing after, it would be a much less deep time investment at this point in time.
Yeah,
to
actually,
get-
the Waterdeep is super far away. My character would probably be fine with the towns as well as Iron Master. It doesn't matter.
All right. Well, I guess right now let's just pick. Are you guys going over to Iron Master, or are you going over to going through the towns? Let's just you can just flip a coin if we want. It doesn't super matter yet.
I'm gonna flip my phone to decide for myself. Oh, it fell.
Oh no.
It landed on towns.
Towns. All right.
Towns as well. I vote towns.
Okay.
I've been a little distracted, but I'm good with whatever people want to do.
Okay. That is quite all right. Let's here's the question. We were talking about are we good people good to go until like 10:30? Is that okay for everybody?
Yeah.
Sure.
That's fine.
Cool.
Do you
All
mind
right.
if I take a minute and I want to make like a cup of coffee?
Yeah, let's take like a 5-10 minute break or something. Let's come back at is 9:50 okay for everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's
Alright.
come back at
Sweet.
9:50. Hello.
This is really fun so far, and I'm astounded at the capabilities of Roll20. I had no idea about like the turn feature and all that stuff.
It's very finicky and difficult to get going, but once you're comfortable with it, it can do a decent amount. It's definitely, though, when things go wrong, things go real wrong. The entire website will just stop functioning.
I need
Yikes.
I'm back.
I'll be right there.
Yo,
Okay. Hello.
actually, I'm gonna get a glass of water. I'll be back in 30 seconds. Or you can
That's
sue
quite
me.
all right. Hmm.
Go ahead.
Hello. Just waiting on Cameron, and then we will be good.
You got
Yo.
here. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. All right. So the rest of the 10 towns is actually pretty simple. It probably does take about a day for you to travel up and visit all of them, but it does seem that none of the other ones have been attacked. They specifically were interested in where they thought this artist timber person was. However, the main problem is that the rest of the 10 towns really rely on Bryn Shandair, because they are all like fishing communities and stuff, and then they travel down to Bryn Shandair to trade their wares, which is where most like people from the south essentially come up, and that's kind of the meeting point, which is obviously just wrecked. So really, going forward, the rest of the quest per se would probably be helping to reestablish Bryn Shandair and get that fixed. 222. Hold on, let me actually see the distance here, what it thinks it is. No snapping. Yeah, about a day's travel to go around. Is there anything in specific that anybody is looking for while they're in one of the other 9 towns?
Hmm.
No?
Do we have any starting gold?
Well, no, but yes, because whenever you get back to Duvessa is going to give the group 200 gold to try to get them, and supplies can get you about a week's worth of rations, as well as coats made from, let me see, they're made of some weird thing that I was excited to tell you and I forgot.
Adult seals?
No. Heavily blah blah blah. Oh well, I don't know. They're made from like the fur of like frost trolls or something. I don't know. It was something crazy.
Ooh.
That will help to keep you warm. So yeah, so 200 gold for the group. A week's worth of rations, and those coats.
Awesome.
So let's see. We've got half an hour. Trying to think of if there's anything that is doable in that half an hour. Means. Yeah, it says they thrive on fishing and trade. Both endeavors reliant on the knucklehead trout of Icewind Dale's lakes. And without the fish and trade, the people of 10 towns would starve. So, unless there is something that you would immediately like to do about that circumstance, I don't know what you could do, but maybe you have some clever idea. Next up would probably be eventually traveling over to Iron Master or just heading down to Waterdeep.
Well, I have a stake in the success of the 10 towns economy.
That is true, you do.
I suggest
Um,
quantitative easing.
I also just really put my life on the line for Duvessa and Bryn Shondare, so I'd say sticking with the 10 towns for
You
now.
want to, yeah,
Or
and
going
see
to
if you
Iron
can,
Master first.
yeah. Okay, so what would be the plan then to try to help? Because basically, so what needs to be done then is help build up Bryn Shondare some, or get or some sort of influx of money for them to be able to. Because the town is just wrecked, is destroyed. Anywhere that the giants went is just
Actually, thinking about it, I
rubble.
might not care that much and just leave and go do something else more productive.
I don't feel this way.
I don't know.
Cam, what was your interest in the town?
Wow.
I don't know. You don't have to disclose anything, but
No, it's not like secret information. I just didn't say it all in my character introduction thing. So, my adoptive parents lived in one of the 10 towns. What was it called? Mead something. I'm
It was
forgetting what.
something like me. Yeah.
Mead. Good mead.
Good meat. That's it.
Yes.
It was too generic to remember.
It's too generic to remember, but it's one of the 10 towns, and they have a thriving meadery, and Nemo as a character is basically seeking his parents' approval so that they will rewrite him into their will so he can inherit this meadery.
Do you see while you're going through the towns? Do you visit your parents?
Well, they
Check up on
currently
them?
don't really want to talk to me until I can prove that I have changed from my former ways.
Yeah. So
Maybe going on an adventure and helping people would be a way to do that.
Yes, that's true, but I also don't want to leave it so that my inheritance would then be completely worthless. So if the economy of the 10 towns is destroyed, then what purpose do I have in restoring my honor with my family if I'm not going to inherit anything with value?
true. You guys could. I mean, maybe something you could do is you could try to travel down to one of the nearby towns in the area and maybe try to enlist help to rebuild Bryn Shondare, and that could help. We do have a fairly charismatic party overall because we have a multi-class sorcerer, a bard, a warlock, and I think, Dan, aren't you fairly charismatic? Don't some of your abilities key off of charisma or something?
oh yeah, I'm proficient in intimidation, and
Well, there you go.
yeah.
So yeah, so you guys do have some of those skills. So you could try heading down to one of the towns down the way, and maybe try to get some resources, get some people to help, and bring them up if you wanted.
That could be
Um,
fun.
the closest town. Let me see here.
I've already got a way to surefire boost the fishing economy.
Yeah. So yeah, so
Yeah.
there's Hundlestone that is directly below. Then further down there's Fireshear and Luskin. So Hundlestone, I already told you, is like a mining town. Let me tell you some information about the other two. Locations F. So Fireshear is a place where there was a meteor strike that blasted a crater in the frozen tundra, close near the coast. So it is also kind of a mining town, similar, kind of associated. But the interesting thing is it has a specific ruling structure of it has 3 leaders that have different responsibilities because they're each a representative of one of the town's founding companies, these mining companies that came in and built on this where this meteor strike was. So yeah, that would be Fire Shear. I'll read a little bit more about what was the other one I said. Luskin. Luskin is the furthest south. Fire Shear is the here. Whoops, I have to turn on ping there, and Luskin is down here. Luskin I think is a mostly human town. It's known as the City of Sails. Which kind of would maybe conjure like the romantic, like pirate, like magnificent port metropolis kind of thing. It is not that. It's a dirty, poor city, kind of covered in fog. Sort of a creepy, like poor town. 5 high captains rule the city, which is they're basically mobs. Uh, like organized crime that controls the city. So I don't know why you would go there, but that you could try to convince them. Let me see if there are any other good options. I think that's pretty much it. Of course, then there is also maybe you could try to convince the people of Iron Master to help as well.
I would say definitely the mining town or Iron Master.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm back. Sorry, guys. It's
You are-
incredible how fucking hard it is to do anything with a printer.
Yeah.
Anything with a what?
A printer. They
Oh.
have like 3 things that they do, and they are all so just not working ever.
Word.
Infuriating. But I'm here now.
Anyone have a favorite town to go to?
Not really. I
You
think
said one of them that was like mostly humans.
Fire Shear, I think.
I would avoid that one personally.
Fire Shear is mostly human. I mean, but an okay mix.
I'd want to go to a place that has some more diversity.
There is more diversity at Luskin, but that's also like the crime city.
Iron Master's all dwarves, but we could potentially hit 2 birds with 1 stone if we can solve both quests with that one town.
Dwarves is okay. Just like my town where I came from was all humans, and they were very like
You suck.
yeah.
Empathy was their dump stat. They went straight into height, speaking as a dwarf.
There you go. Hey.
I'd agree with that.
All right. Well, so I will say this is a good point to kind of bring this up. The first sort of section of this, which is really the second section of the story, because there is a whole chapter that we kind of skipped, is basically like you have the general goal of heading down to Waterdeep, but the map is just full of locations. Like here, ready? I will go show to players. Just if you look at that, does the map show up for you guys?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you just look at them all, right? So it's very
Oh
open.
wow.
Removing it from your journals, you don't get to see. So yeah. So things we can do with it are we can embrace that and we can kind of just have it be almost sort of hex crawly and push through the map, and you guys explore. And we have Cameron the Ranger kind of navigating us through the map, and then eventually we get down to Waterdeep, and the adventure kind of just picks up from there. Or we can kind of, if we're interested in getting right to the story content, we can elide that a little bit, and definitely still be a little bit of navigation from Cameron as we head down. And there will be random encounters, and obviously you have to stop in towns to rest and stuff like that. But the goal would then be to get on with the adventure, essentially. So that is up to all of you. We don't even have to decide right now. We can kind of play it by ear, but I just wanted you guys to know that and kind of have that on your mind.
Thanks.
Okay.
For right now, this is even though it is a little early, it's a sort of awkward start to things. If the plan is to go to Iron Master or Fire Shear or Luskin, let's pick one. It sounded like Iron Master was maybe the choice.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Okay.
Yep.
I will very quickly roll for a random encounter on the way.
Nice.
All right, let's do it.
Do we want to fight something? Let's fight something real quick,
Let's fight.
right?
I'm assuming we've rested.
Yeah.
I used
Full
both my
HP.
spells.
Yeah. Um
Those giants are lucky I didn't get over the wall in time to kick their ass.
Remind me how we heal up. If it's a long rest, is it full?
at this point just put yourself completely at full because you guys traveled for a day and came back and stuff, so you were more than good. Chapter 3. Yeah. Somebody roll a D100 for me.
Oh, good. We only have to fight 8 things.
I got an 8.
Yeah, who rolls absurdly low all the time? Come on.
Interesting. All right. So we'll do this kind of theater of the mind, obviously.
Maybe
but-
lower is better.
Yeah. So you're heading down the road, and oh wow, that is fucking a lot of them. Okay, well, ignore this lovely roll. Actually, I can just go like this. Okay. So there are coming up the road, sort of heading towards Princhandair, where you're heading away from it. Seems to be this like warrior tribe, essentially, of Uthgard barbarians, being led by a woman who has like bones in her hair and this ornate like dress, essentially. And there's this awkward moment where you both come around bends on the trail and are just staring at each other. Let's all roll initiative.
Do.
Should we do like the token thing or just
Oh yeah, you can't. 'Cause you're not on the fucking map right now. If you how can I make this work? Oh, I can just go like this. I'm going to take us to this blank battle map where all of your tokens are. You can click on your token and roll again, or you can take your roll. It's up to you.
My roll is
I'm
above
gonna
average.
take that.
Although I don't see the.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah, I'm moving us over now. It takes a second sometimes. Boom. Okay, so add turn. It's a 17.
Where are all the tokens?
Add turn. Oh, they're coming. They're coming. Boom. Danny has a 22. What else am I missing?
Damn, you got 22 again? Or no, that might have been somebody else last time.
I don't think I did. Oh, I think that was my NPC last time.
Oh, Sam, I also need here. At turn also has a a 17. Shit, means rolling a hit. And let me see. We go like this. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Who am I missing?
I got it right now. Sorry, I was having trouble.
Oh, that's fine. Now you're in there. I'm looking.
Where are we attacking right now?
Well, they're gonna attack you. So,
Right,
Yeah.
but I see like rolls to hit and stuff.
I think people are just kind of.
Okay.
Boom. There's one of them. And I need a. As we go, and my prep moves further ahead of you guys where you're going and what the possibilities are, I will definitely be more prepared. But for right now, we kind of just have to go with what we got. Initiative.
Okay.
Initiative. Order. Fucking game. See, this is what I'm talking about. If you do things that Roll20 doesn't like, it gets very upset with you. Danny, so they're being led by this shaman. And there are about 15 of these warriors behind. What do you do?
Ooh.
15.
And they're just charging you. She's like standing there dramatically as they pour like around her, and she's like pointing her staff at you.
Diffuse the situation.
Breakdance.
Is there art for her? Can I share art with you? That would be cool. Not really. It's just a token.
Okay, but she's like at the front.
She is. We'll say because you want initiative. She's still at the front. They're about to all run past her.
All right.
You're probably. We'll say you're about 30 feet away. For simplicity's sake.
All right. I'll use my fighting spirit, and then charge and attack her.
Charge and attacker. All right. Roll to hit. 18 definitely hits. So that's going to be 11 damage.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah, it does a good chunk to her already. You just run up and stab her right through the shoulder with your rapier. She's like pointing at you, and she looks shocked that you'd be so brazen. Breeze, you are up.
Alrighty. Which one's the shaman?
This is her up here, but I mean, it's just this map isn't like accurate. It's just so that I have the tokens on the board for myself. She's about 30. They're all about 30 feet away from you. She's like in the front. And Danny just ran up and stabbed her.
Danny just ran up and stabbed her.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I'm going to go ahead and use my Hexblade's Curse.
Okay.
My bad, I didn't mean to click that.
I'm assuming on the shaman.
On the shaman, yeah.
Okay. Okay, she is cursed. Tell me what that does.
I have to look it up because I didn't write it in my character sheet.
All right, I'll add it in before next week for you.
Okay,
I think
Hexblade's
you do an
Curse.
extra D6.
The target is cursed for 1 minute. I gain bonus to damage rolls against the cursed target. The bonus equals my proficiency bonus. Any attack roll is a critical on 19 or 20. If the cursed target dies, I regain hit points equal to my warlock level plus charisma.
Gotcha. Nice.
So then, since that's a bonus action, I'm gonna move like 20 feet up.
Yeah.
And I'm going to attack with my glaive.
With your glaive. All right, roll to hit.
And I gain a bonus damage if I hit.
Yeah.
That's a nat 20.
Okay.
So
okay, all right. Well, okay, so first thing, what does it look like when you curse somebody? Like, what is it?
So I guess when I curse, I like point the glaive at them,
Yeah.
and then like it almost seems like a gust of wind kind of goes towards them, but the wind is like shadowy,
Oh, okay, yeah.
and then it like envelops them.
This mist kind of like goes around them.
Yeah, almost
Okay,
like a
and then
fog.
gotcha. And then you just come in with your glaive like an overhead
Yeah.
slash right into like the where her neck meets her shoulder. You have 2 attacks, right? So roll again.
Oh yeah, I do. And
21 definitely hits. 4.
should it double the dice for the nat 20 though?
It did with the plus 4.
It did.
Oh, it did.
That's what the 4 is, yeah.
Oh, okay, and then both of those deal an extra 3 damage because of the curse.
Oh
So-
shit. Okay, yeah. Okay. So you with that nat 20, holy shit, you wrecked her. You come up and just with 2 swift strikes with your glaive, cut her first overhead, like cut into her neck, and then you spin around and slice her head clean off. She's dead.
Jesus Christ. That's the
Um
shaman.
yeah, the shaman's down. So now we've got like 15 of these
So I'm-
warriors that are charging around her and then just watch their leader instantly
So I'm just gonna
die.
yell to them, "You want to fuck with us?"
All right. Tony is up.
All right. In a very practiced fashion, I'm gonna swing around to the side here.
Yeah.
So they don't flank us, and then I'm gonna attack this guy.
Okay.
Let me find my character sheet. I lost it.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna see what I look like.
So you click something on the character sheet to do this as well.
Yep.
All right, and that would be what do you click?
In the middle where it says attacks and spellcasting, you click the weapon.
Yep. Got it. 20 definitely hits.
All right.
Yeah, these guys are not very strong. What are you attacking with? What's your weapon? A great sword. Yeah, just a big heavy swing and like swing it right into their gut, and it gets like wedged into their stomach, and just their guts spill out over it. That one's toast. 1 down, 14 to go.
I have another attack if they're
Yeah. Go for it. Just wade in there. Start hacking and
Alright.
slashing. Oh my
Oh
goodness.
wait, sorry. I accidentally did it more than once.
That's okay. That definitely hits. Yeah, another one. Just clear. You're just wading through these like in the 2 towers when they're like fighting through the orcs. Like you're just cutting them down, no problem. 2
I love
down. Daisy.
Hold on a sec. I'm seeing if I have anything that's like kind of AoE. Give me one creature. Okay. I want to use Shatter.
Oh
So
shit.
how many are left?
13, I guess now.
Am I able? So I have a 60-foot range. I want to do Shatter like.
It's
right
what, a
in-
20-foot,
It's a 10-foot radius. sphere.
10-foot radius. So you can't get all of them, but I'll say you can get like what, 5 of them.
5 of them. Okay.
Yeah.
So they must make a Constitution saving throw.
Gotcha.
3d8 thunder damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one.
Gotcha. Where did my stat?
A creature made of inorganic. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right. So.
Oh, did I stupidly delete him?
Oh,
Where did he go? Where did my
Here.
tribal warrior go? Greg's gonna be like, you shouldn't have deleted them. Yeah, fuck you, Greg. When Greg rolls on Roll20, he just like has a little fog of war thing on the side, and he like has them exit stage left. They're just gonna go with the end of initiative then. That's fine. So they make con saves.
Yeah, 15 DC.
Okay. Failure. Success. Failure. Okay. So 3 of them failed. So 12 damage. So the 3 that fail are just straight up dead. They're gone. What does Shatter look like when you cast it?
Wait, hold on. I want to. Wait, I want to confirm which instrument I use.
Oh, my go-to instrument is bagpipes. So I
Oh
just
God.
epic like this huge like blow into the bagpipes, and you could like kind of like see like I guess like a mini shockwave like where it is. It's like really sudden.
Blast out. Yeah, and three of them, they're like literally are just torn apart, like as if they're in an explosion off to the side. The other two also are still already looking rough. Anything as a bonus action?
I want to give Nemo Bardic Inspiration die.
Hell yeah. Nemo, what are
Hey!
you up to?
All right. So I just want to clarify something before I say what I'm going to do. This means that I add my +5 dex to my second attack.
Yep.
Okay.
So it actually
Cool.
makes things it to your actually your third attack, right? Because you have two attacks with your main hand normally as a ranger, and then you can offhand attack with your left hand, or well, it doesn't matter, but your
And
offhand.
does the offhand attack still count as part of your attack action?
It's a bonus action.
It's a bonus action. Okay.
What weapons are you using?
I was going to use daggers.
Okay, then absolutely, yeah, you can do that. So you're gonna make 3 attacks then, and they're all gonna be the same. So it actually the 2-weapon fighting simplifies things for you. Normally, you wouldn't get to add your ability modifier to the damage of the second attack. Now you do, so they're all the same.
Okay. So just 3 of these dagger attacks and then 5
Yeah.
on one.
Yep. Okay. Let me see here. Wow, all 3 of them hit. So the ones that 2 of the ones that there's just this sort of like thunderous crack as the shockwave goes out from Josh, and you come up, and the 2 of them that are weakened from it, you just really quickly in the neck stab him with daggers. And then the third one, you look right his eyes, and he starts to run away, and you just toss one of the daggers, and it hits him right in the between the eyes. All 3 of them are dead. There's only what, like 8 or 9 left. I'm not. It doesn't really matter, does it? But it is their turns. And so 5 of them are going to attack Sam, who ran up and
5
killed
of
him.
them?
Yeah.
So the first one that gets into my range, I'm going to use my reaction to make an attack of opportunity.
Oh yeah, because you have, yeah. Okay, so go for it. So do that.
Thanks to my polearm master.
Yeah. 13 does hit.
Does 8 damage kill them?
Yeah, it does. So down it goes. They're not very strong, right? They're just
Yeah,
they're super weak. And yeah, so he's like for her honor, and just like starts running up, and you just very quickly spin around and right off with the head. So now there were 5, now there are 4. Let me make 4. They have spears. No attribute was found. That's really interesting. Let me see if I can. Should be to hit 3. Do I get for it? That's really weird. But I can just roll 1, 2, 4, and then I add. So I've got a 15 to hit.
15 does not.
Okay, so then an 11 definitely misses, an 18,
That hits.
and a 6. So what? That was 2 hits.
I think that was 1.
Only one, yeah, only one. So that is going to be 3 piercing damage. The solid 1d8 plus 1. And the other one's up against you, Dan.
Right.
4 attacks here. Natural 1. So that's a miss. A 19.
That will hit.
Okay, 1 hit. 18.
That'll hit.
Oh my goodness, they're popping off, Dan. A 3
That will just miss.
and a nat 20.
That'll hit.
So 2 hits and a crit.
I miss being
It's
out.
not gonna be. It's not really gonna do anything. But so 4 piercing. Another 4 piercing. So we're at 8, and then the crit is 12 piercing.
All right, so 20 total.
Yeah, and this is a good time to point out, if instead of doing math, you can just click on your token, and then there's the green one that means your HP, and you could just type in like -20, and it'll do the math.
Oh wow.
Not that math is really hard that time, but
Cool.
as we level up and we start getting to the point where it's like, okay, they do 47 damage to you, you can
Mm.
do that. Let's just we can just go through the motions here of finishing these guys off. Mannequin number 5.
All right. I am going to use Fighting Spirit again and charge up to the closest one and attack.
Okay, roll to hit.
So 24 to hit.
Definitely hits, yeah.
And then 12 damage.
You kind of you immediately start to mimic the savagery of their fighting style. Hyper problematic thing to just say there, yikes. But that's okay. And you just like real ferocious, like just come up and grab one of them by the hair and just jab your rapier directly through their skull, toss them off to the side.
And then action surge, second attack.
Oh shit! Okay, go for it.
Why not? 18 to hit.
18 also hits. I can't think of another dramatic way to narrate that you kill them, but you kill them, and you can tell now. Obviously, you're just destroying this tribe of warriors, and they look scared, but they are trained to not back down. Right? They are going to fight to the death. Breeze, you're up.
All right. I'm just gonna keep on hacking.
Just keep on wading through and hacking, yeah.
Yeah. So I get 2 more glaive attacks.
Yep.
First one.
We'll see if you manage to miss any of them. Nope.
1 down.
Yeah.
Next one, moving along. So that's 2 down.
Yeah.
And with my polearm master, I can make a bonus action attack with the blunt end of it.
Yep.
So I assume it has the same modifier.
It does, yeah.
Does it also get +1 to the damage?
Yep.
Okay, so the damage will be different, but I'll just click for the roll.
Okay.
Oh, is that a miss?
No.
12 hits.
12 hits them,
So the
yeah.
damage is a D4 plus my charisma modifier.
Yeah.
So
I think it's actually technically possible to not kill one of them. Here we go.
let's see. D4 2 plus my charisma modifier makes it 5 plus 1 is 6.
Yep. Okay. So just you did. Is this the last one? I'm not keeping track. We're just gonna say it's the last one here. If the last one is there, and you like look like they're like, oh, okay, he's done. He's out of breath. He's gonna stop or whatever. And you just suddenly just jab the blunt end and just like sheer like trauma just hits him right in the and unconscious. He falls. Eyes roll back. See, everybody got to show off all the fun things that they can do.
How do you add a fighting style? Because I have great weapon fighting, but I'm not sure if it's incorporated.
It probably is not. I am gonna. So the one thing that's fun here is everybody's gonna level up. Dan, what you probably are gonna want to do is if you go into the like level plus character mancer, level yourself up to a 6th level fighter, but don't pick a subclass. And then it should give you all of that other stuff as features as well, and then we'll just have to like readjust hit points, but that's really easy to do. But that'll make sure like that should implement the fighting style because it looks like it did for Danny, right?
Wait, what was that?
Your fighting style is in there, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So it should give you the option to pick one, hopefully.
I'm not sure where to find character mancer.
So okay, so on your character sheet, there's in the top right, there's like core, bio, spells.
Yeah.
Um,
Setting.
yeah. Then you go to and then you're gonna go down bottom right to launch level plus character mancer.
Okay.
I don't know what it thinks you are right now.
Okay. I'll figure it out.
If not, yeah, if it isn't working, I will go in later and I will get it fixed.
No worries.
Josh, I think you hadn't picked a subclass on your character
I
sheet.
was
At least when I
doing the
checked.
College of Swords.
College of Swords, but it didn't. So when you level up, it should let you pick one because it wasn't
Um,
selected before.
It's saying that I already had it, but now it's letting me get that extra attack at level 6. It didn't previously let me choose a fighting style.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
trying to figure out how to do that.
why it's not letting you. So if you go over to features, will it be there? If not, what I will do is I will just rebuild Daisy from the beginning and make sure everything actually goes in there for you, and then I'll give you access to that character sheet. I'll probably do the same thing for you, Dan, if it's
I
being
appreciate
finicky.
that. I mean, it looks like it's going all right. Like, it's increased my HP. It's telling me I got counter charm.
Yeah. Aren't you
Extra
supposed to
attacks.
get? It is giving you. It looked like you didn't have your the like extra thing you can do with your bardic inspiration die, which was weird. Like you have like your sword flourishes. So I'll mess
Yeah,
around
yeah,
with
it
it over
didn't
the
show
week
that
and
either.
see if I can get it to work correctly.
Okay.
But I figured I didn't notice it until like
I was actually
earlier
just
today or
looking.
something.
When we started combat, I was looking at it because I thought there was something that I wasn't seeing on my character sheet.
Yeah.
So I was looking at the blade flourish.
So this week I'll go through and I'll just make sure that everybody's character sheets are functioning right because Roll20 can be really finicky and do weird, stupid stuff. It has a tendency to, for some reason, set everybody's hit die to a D4, so just look out for that. But besides that, that was a fun first session for me. I hope it was fun for you guys.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I
We
say
will see what is happening at Ironhelm or whatever next week. We're doing 7:30 again next week. I forget who it was that had that was saying it was going to be 7:30 for a couple weeks,
Yeah,
but that might shift.
that's me. I'm working. So I used to stop work at 4:40, and then this week they changed me to a later schedule for some reason. So 7:30, 7:45 is enough time because I stop at 7 now to like eat, like shower and like eat some dinner and stuff. So
Okay.
I think that works for me all right.
That's fine then. Let's say we'll say I will be on around 7:30 to start getting set up, but then we'll say like 7:45 is a start time.
Okay.
Does that work for everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Thank all of you very much. I can't talk. Yeah, we'll pick it up from there. I will probably message Dan and Josh and Cameron and pretty much I think Danny's kind of locked in like where he is in the world and stuff. Everybody else will do some more as I start reading through the rest of the adventure, kind of to give you more information about what's going on and maybe rope your character into things more and more as we go.
Cool.
All right, I am gonna hop off then.
All right.
You all have a wonderful evening. I will talk to you all soon.